New to Excel 2013 is the FlashFill, which is part of the autofill feature. So if you haven't watched the previous training video on autofill, I recommend that you watch it so you have an idea what I'm talking about here. In any case, as I mentioned, it's part of the autofill feature, and to use it, you need to be next to a column of data that you want to change. Then, when FlashFill recognizes a pattern in it, it'll fill in a preview. So as you recall with autofill, you can go ahead and select a cell that contains data or a range of cells, and then to go ahead and copy that to the adjacent cells, just hover over the lower right hand corner and click and drag either to the right or down or to the left and let go, and it copies it over. And if it recognizes a pattern, you can click on the drop down arrow and get the different options there. Okay, let me go ahead and hit undo. Well, with FlashFill, you want to be in a column that's blank, and it'll look to the next columns over and look for a pattern when you start filling in that blank column. So for example, in here, I want to go ahead and type in the full name, or maybe just part of it, like last name, comma, first. So let's do Klinger, comma, space, Max, hit enter. And then to establish a pattern for FlashFill to recognize, let's go ahead and type in another one, app. Okay, so I start typing in AP, and it automatically gives me a preview of FlashFill. And let's make sure that this is right, because notice that for Appleman Obe, it's not Obe, it's Bob. So that didn't work. And you can see the pattern down below with Wiggums, comma, Lancy, it's Clancy. So let me just go ahead and finish typing in the correct name here, and then type it in one more time so we can give it a more solid pattern for FlashFill to go off of. And the next one is Simps. Well, there you go. Type in the first couple of letters. And let's look at Wiggums Clancy. It's not Lancy. Looks good. Hit enter. And there you go, FlashFill. Now, if it doesn't automatically open up for you, FlashFill, by default it should be turned on, but if it's not, you can check it by coming up here, clicking on the File tab, going backstage to Options, and then coming up here to Advanced, and there it is. Check Automatically FlashFill. Click Cancel. If it's checked and it's not bringing it up, then we can go ahead and let's delete this and select Homer again. And you can hit Control E on the keyboard, the shortcut keys. That works. Or let me undo that. Come up here on the Data tab to the Data Tools group and click on FlashFill. Automatically fills in. That's cool. Let's go ahead and undo that. You can select the range and click and drag down. And then when you do that, click on the drop down arrow to get the other options, the least of which is FlashFill, and that works. Okay, so you got some options there. So it's looking to the left-hand side to the adjacent columns looking for patterns, and how I went ahead and combined all that into this pattern, I can go ahead by the same token, extract it. So if I just want the first name, let's type in Max. Let's get a pattern, type in the next one. Oh, there we go. The rest will be Homer, Frank, and Britt. Hit enter, fabulous, and then of course last name, Klinger, Appleman, there we go. So the pattern that it sees for FlashFill to work is that, from what I can see, is that it's looking at the delimiter, the space between, well, the last name and first name when you start typing in the last names over here, so it can see that and automatically extract it. And then down below for one final example on FlashFill, I mean, it's got many uses. We're just covering the basics here. And in this case, we've got the phone that I want to put in the first three numbers in parentheses. So if I try to say, okay, look, this is how I want it, and then hit enter, and let's go ahead and do one more to give it a pattern. And then when I type in the first parentheses, let's check to make sure everything else is following in the same pattern here. Sweet, hit enter. There you go.